Think we're on. Yep.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you who are watching.
That's right. Welcome to today, Radical Connections TV.
That's right. And
with whom?
Me, Jesse, and you you're cute.
Welcome, guys.
As you can see, we are very spontaneous, real, raw, unedited. So far at this point, we might do a little bit more editing later on as we become technologically advanced. But currently, we are who we are, and you get what you get. And sometimes we literally wing things just off the cuff, and sometimes we plan ahead and we take notes. Today is one of those times where Irina just asked me, "What's the title for today?" And I was like, this. Yeah. And then we'll just wing it.
And winning it meaning that we do actually know what we're talking about. It's just we are taking something from the huge variety of things that we have to offer, and we go with that one because that's what we actually feel spiritually is the right thing to talk about today.
So we're going to share from memory instead of a written list.
Yeah.
So the title was How to Prevent Unnecessary Breakups. Now this could apply to couples that are unmarried and also married.
Yeah.
Two different fields, but there's some similarities between the two and some things that are not similar at all. So couples that are in a relationship, where they have a focus towards marriage, often don't work out. And some of them could be prevented with a little bit of foresight, planning, and
a lot of them actually.
Just understanding a few key things and recognizing that all of us have blind spots in our lives where we don't know what we don't know. And what we don't know is not bliss. It can actually sabotage good things in our lives sometimes. And the reason why is not because of a random roll of dice by God up in heaven, but because everything in this life has a cause and effect. Everything that is done and every action that is taken upon this earth has an equal and a opposite reaction. Yeah. That's literally a physical law, but every physical law also has a counterpart spiritual law. Yeah. So one of the first things that cause unnecessary breakups is obviously some of the obvious ones are expectations, and those expectations not being verbalized or not being met. And when there's expectations on a friendship, it puts pressure on the other person.
Yeah.
And can lead to disappointment in yourself. Versus just ditch the whole dating scene. We don't encourage dating, by the way. So scratch that. It's about making friends and then making a decision to propose. That's all. Yeah. And if you do this with multiple people and interact with them like as if you're interacting with another person's future spouse with that level of integrity and honor, it'll stay pure and clean. Anyhow, I'm getting off topic. So that's expectations is one. And not understanding your MVP, which is an acronym for mission, vision, and peculiar. If you don't know what yours is, you also won't know what to look for to complement that. Yeah. Because you want to find someone that has a similar MVP, especially the same mission. Visions can be different, but similar. But then everyone's going to have their unique peculiar, of course.
Yeah.
So that's dating couples. The two that I can think of, if we have time, I'd like to shift over into the married ones or what causes catastrophic, unexpected divorces, but go for it. You have a few to share on the couples that are in a special relationship before marriage.
Yeah. So in boundaries, another thing is boundaries. A lot of people have different boundaries, and they call them boundaries, right? And sometimes, I want to say this. We don't say boundaries because it's actually the point of communication
and making a decision,
and also communicate those things with whoever you're talking to on the other side. So, and why those things are important is that if you're not communicating things that are important to you, then that person wouldn't even know why and how to even treat you. Or, of course, you want to know how they're going to treat you without you asking for things. But at the same time, if you have some things that are important to you and you want to communicate those with another person, or you're expecting for them to do those things just because you want them to read your mind about those things. Just know that that's just not convenient for anyone.
So basically, don't expect flowers if he doesn't even know that you like flowers.
Exactly.
That's the super easy example.
Right. And then Jesse mentioned MVP, right? So if you think of it on the mission and vision part of it, when you look at the business partners, people don't go into business unless they're not wise in that, without comparing their vision and mission for it. They would not align to go together into business if those things are not aligning. Why should you marry someone or go on a date with someone or choose to be together with for the rest of your life if you're not aligning there? And you wanted to transfer into a married couple, so we can go right into that one.
Yeah, I have a great transition point for that. There's 100 millionaire couple that we love listening to on YouTube. I guess it's okay to mention their name. Alex Hormozy and his wife, what is
Layla.
Layla. They're 100 millionaires. They are believers, and they're also businessmen. And they're they have the fruit to show for it, So we take their advice into serious consideration. But they said they started their relationship on a business level. There was no romance there. They were business partners. And they literally decided to get married because it was a business decision for them. Like they wanted to do business with each other for life, to the point where they wanted to become eternal alliances, one flesh, union in marriage, and they have a great marriage. I'd never heard that before, about viewing marriage as a business transaction. Now, I understand there's a lot more about that. It's not just that. It's just one piece of the pie, but it is an interesting aspect. Do I want to be in business with Edie? Does she want to be in business with me? Well, the fact of the matter is we both do. In real life, for actual, we're in the same business and we complement each other. We work on the same mission in our occupation, what we, everything. Basically, we're on the same mission. And our visions are different but similar. But then we have our unique peculiarities. And so anyhow, going into the married people, I often hear these stories and I read people's posts on Facebook about these devastated spouses that their partner just unexpectedly, boom, drops them for another person and divorces them. And they never saw it coming. It just hit them out of left field.
They thought they had a great
thought they had a great marriage. They thought they had a great connection. Their sex life was awesome. And they loved each other. It was the love of their life. And all of a sudden, boom, she finds another guy and just divorces him, or vice versa. The guy walks off and cheats, and the other spouse is just left shattered.
Yeah.
And I look at these like, how is that possible? If you're listening and you have had experience with that, I would love to interview you and ask you some questions just to learn. Because to me, I have no grid for this and I'm trying to understand. But there's a couple things that I can, with somewhat reasonable amount of assurance, say is definitely, it won't escape the radar if you know about it. And that is true, deep connection cannot be faked.
Yeah.
Once you experience true, deep connection at the deepest level, you will then also know what it feels like to not feel connected. Yeah. Now, if you enter marriage with a connection that's only physical, and maybe physical and emotional, but let's say not spiritual. But once you experience a connection that's physical and emotional in the soul, and then spiritual in your spirit, all three parts of you are deeply connected, and you have deep connection with your Heavenly Father, with your identity, and then with your spouse. Once you experience that and you even feel like that, connection, then even being twanged a little bit, threatened, you immediately feel it, and it's painful. Like you have to make, like immediately we want to get back together and strengthen that connection again, because we know what it's like to be connected, and to not be connected is super painful. And we can't imagine how it'd be like to not have that. We've been married now 2 years by November 18th,
Yeah.
which is, just
A couple of weeks from now.
16 days from now.
Yeah.
So go for it.
I wanted to speak into that one part as well. I was interacting with people from as I was traveling a week ago, and I realized that not many people actually understand when we talk about deep connection, how to have deep connection, and that is
because a lot of people have their own interpretation of what connection is to them.
Correct.
So what is it really?
So when we talk about that, it's probably personal to us the way we talk about our deep connection. But we're not the only ones that have those connections, and each couple would have their own connection still, because each person is unique, each couple is unique, right? But what we talk about is that we actually have rituals per se that we do, routines that helps us to connect daily, and we have those routines from 5 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock in the morning. Then we connect again during lunchtime and in between times as well. Well, we work from home, so we can connect more than most couples can. But I tell you what, with things that we have and the tools that we have in connecting, created that deep connection for us. We check in with each other. We ask questions that actually lead us to go deeper and not to stand surface. We trust each other. We respect and we honor each other. We love each other. We love to support each other, serve each other.
I love what you said about we ask questions to see how the other person is doing.
And
don't stay deeper than surface level.
Right. And like simple questions that we ask too, not every day, but once in a while, is that, am I a safe place for you? Do you feel safe with me? Is there anything that I can do better to be a safe person for you? How can I be better, right, in those things?
One thing I just thought about was a possibility is where couples, married couples, the one isn't doing so well, and the other might ask, try to draw them out of their cave to share, and they won't share because of the pain and the wounding. And so they stuff it and go on, and they get used to it.
Yeah.
And I think the danger point is getting used to that which you should not be getting used to.
Yeah.
And that can cause things to come out of left field and destroy a relationship that could have been easily preserved by not stuffing it, not putting it, sweeping it under the carpet, and not going on until the point where you don't feel it anymore because you're used to it now.
Yeah. So the other thing we use in the mornings is that we talk about it in our other videos, is that how we connect with our Heavenly Father, how we connect with ourselves, and then with each other. That is every day. We actually do it Sunday through Friday, and then Friday is actually our Shabbat day, which is day of rest. So we connect even more during that time. And it's our date night on Saturday. So we have dates scheduled every single Saturday night. We only skip them if we decide to change things up, and not skip them, but maybe put them on a different day. And we do them differently. We have fun, we explore, we go out, we make food at home, whatever we decide to do, we do that. So there's a lot of things that we do planning together. Sundays are our planning days where we go and plan some things throughout the week. And so those are just few simple things that you can do to stay connected with your significant other, to ask them right questions, to see where they're at, and we do gratitudes and worthies practice every morning, where we write about gratitudes and worthies for ourselves and our spouse, and we share them verbally. And that's a beautiful thing.
Sharing of daily sharing of what we're grateful to each other for, and speaking that life with each other. what I think we could close with my one quick response to a comment that I see here on the side.
Yeah.
I've also heard people say, I love him or her so much, but we just aren't compatible, so we had to get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that comes to mind for me is compatibility is a decision and a
Yes.
choice. It's
Yes.
not a state or a fact.
Oh, that's so good.
I think that's the first thing that we need to recognize, that there's no such thing as marrying the wrong person. It's a
Yeah.
decision to make it work,
Yeah.
come hell or high water, no matter what it takes. And once both people decide that, you know what, we're going to make this work one way or another,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to pursue God with all our heart, mind, soul, strength, and we're going to, start implementing what it's going to take. You do whatever it takes, no matter what, and there's no out button.
Yeah.
You can make any combination work if both parties are willing. I understand that not everybody, is in a situation where both parties are willing. Maybe you're like the only one that wants to make it work and the other one doesn't. We'll save that for another video, but there are ways and things that, even the one person can do to give the relationship a fighting chance. So until next time, thank you for sticking with us for 16 minutes now.
One more thing, you guys. I know some of you married couples will say, well, you told us if our missions are not aligning, we shouldn't be together. Listen, it's a choice again. If you're already married and you see that your missions and visions may not be aligning, you ask another question, is that how can I support my spouse's vision and mission? You don't have to get divorced because of that. You can always find a way to stay together and support each other. It's a beautiful thing. We have a couple that's in our community that do that, and they are super powerful together. So guys, it's not an excuse. For those who are married, it's not an excuse. If you're already engaged and you love each other and you want to be together, and your visions and missions are not aligning, but you want to support each other in it, go for it. I mean, that is something that you choose. Just keep that, as you made that decision. Don't blame anybody.
Different missions can make it more challenging, but it's definitely still doable.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to put in the work. That's all.
Exactly. So I just wanted to say that because some people will come back with that.
Yeah.
And guys, we give you a lot of information today. This is the most one of the longest videos we made in a really long time.
Almost maybe we should split the video.
Maybe we will for Facebook viewers, right? But those of you, listen, take that, apply. If you don't know the things we're talking about, and if you want to know more, please reach out to us. Message Jesse, message me, ask those questions. We're here to help you so that you can stay happy, fulfilled in your relationships and marriages.
Yeah, because your questions will give us ideas on what the needs are out there for future videos.
That's right.
So.
That's it? Okay. We'll end at that. Bye, guys. Be blessed.